This is Kessben 93.3 FM, a new wave of excellence in radio.
You asipa.
I don't know, say, what's your Crystal Palace game now? I asked two questions. My first question was, I'll come to Ateta, his selection, the plan, and how he executed the plan. Gary Neville comparing a declared to the level of ACN. There be no baby, mom fanenko, baby or the nekono. But I asked two questions. Will Thomas Tepate accept to play as a right back for the Blasters? That was my first question.
Okay.
My second question was, and the way Jordan played, to Peter Duria, how he was selfless, how he was running, how he was closing the spaces, how he was reverting back, and how he holds up play, his ability to take on defenders. Now me say Jordan for Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
So when you're consistent more on the ball and the this is a team that produces enormous talent. But his ability to take on players, why don't we see that in the national team? From those two players, Ghana against Brazil. Me say Thomas Partey Kobo number 2. Will he play?
It depends on coach, Chrono.
Good.
So just say,
yes.
The coach is now the Benya Sagat and Akasa
The point I'm making is that your coaches should be bold enough. They should show their quality and their class. They should show the stuff that they are made of. They should show they are in charge. They should show absolute control.
What say him children are the country say Uhiana position? I didn't want to say.
Would they even have the guy to explain?
I didn't know to me.
I didn't know. Ghana and Brazil, they are part of movie. And then silence in India. Clearly, he saw the players he's going to play: Paqueta, Casemiro, Neymar. No, he plays no Mukobama midfield against Brazil. And he decided not to play. Later, I said, yes, we play. But the inside story when you meet them one-on-one, that was the issue. I'm not blaming the player, but I'm blaming the technical handlers. And they say, I don't know what the guts to say that. Because someone was playing a left wing back for Juve, but he wasn't happy when he was playing a left back for Ghana. Partey is a good player. She signed in Nisika Arsenal for the Befano Denekoe. But because of the inclusion of Declan Rice, he had been shifted to the right. In Atletico Madrid, Obobida. But consistently, it looks as if Partey is losing the guard in midfield. And your coach is saying, they are in charge, but you ask yourself, can they? Because Jordan impressed me so much.
Yeah.
He was impressive. Crystal Palace team, a team Africa for the Dawson, combined with the English players. Offer John Stone as the goalkeeper, and then offer Joel Ward, Tariq Michel, Joachim Anderson, Maguire, the two centre backs. A midfield of Jefferson Lemar and the Malian Sheikh Omar Diokori. And why he was my man. Mali no bosses the moment Liverpool pen. Liverpool Nkofano. Because Fluminense the Abane say, and now they say Omobema chance Ama Andriaba. Watalu Endo any enough for Liverpool. Looking at how midfield net teams in their building, they should go in for match at Diokori. Super player. No mama carry friend in Didi. Now we crowd or sound or power or sound or drive. A Bereche Eze. Jeffrey Slop was super. Jordan was excellent. And I didn't know I know more debo. The level I know more show. Those were the questions I was asking myself. Say, you start see, buy ye ha. Jordan Bobo on the crowd, you know, attacking the crowd more. So the coaches must work. And they played well. Crystal Palace played well. Arsenal played well. Show great. Show steel. Show resilience. Very uncommon. So we who Arsenal showing that character after the red card. But Thomas Partey was battling, closing, intercepting everywhere. So my Jeffrey Slop in the space to exploit. And so here Arsenal, Saliba, and then Ben White, super. Tomiyasu on and off. Declan Rice, he played well. For me, he played well.
Almost started in a compare Michael Essien.
There you go. Declan Rice, he's not up to the standard of Alexander Song. In Timor
the Pandits National Europe.
England.
Asian say
Declaration or the equation. Onuru Alexander Song no bebo Arsenal for season. Onuru no.
Oh, okay.
In Timor the level of AC, the consistency, the top games Asian show the character and the quality no. And Do you know to start in that Chelsea team? Krano. So best starting in that Chelsea midfield of Balak, Lampard, Makelele, squad. We are Declan Rice, Abe Cologne. So to start in that midfield alone makes you great. I'm not comparing ACN to anybody, but to start in that midfield alone makes you great. In the ACN there, he was in a class of his own.
Declan Rice one Kunsu.
The Abe Cologne. Balak, Germany national team best player. Frank Lampard, a legend. Makelele, the road he defines and a clear proponent of the number 6. And I see an original 8, a diamond shape. That be any Declan Rice, you know. Until Declan Rice, Arsenal. Obi aka abu omo di akofano. Obi aka seso.
Inti de kakra ibi awa Jose bia me bomu tina make. Inti abantana.
Last week when I chose him as the one to watch and the one that I felt could have a big impact on the season, what I think he brings to Arsenal's midfield is power, personality and physicality. SEM brought that to Chelsea. I think that would, for me, be a better example of what I see him as. Makelele was the defender, Lampard was the goals, and Essien, and this is not a criticism by the way, Essien was a brilliant player. I loved him at Chelsea, thought he was outstanding, but he was the power, he was a force in there for 3 or 4 years. And for me, I see him more as an Essien. I wouldn't put him personally in the category of Keane and Vieira. I just think they were so special as midfield players. I don't think Declan is anywhere near that level yet, but he can be a power and influence and a force.
Gary, but you're talking about him not being at that level. Roy Keane actually broke the British transfer record.
Power,
yes.
personality, and influence.
Yes.
And only the other, but I don't think Declan Rice comes in with power. I think he's a controller. He has a certain range of passing in his own, or he'll be or try to influence the game. And if you look at one defense splitting part that he gave in the yesterday's game, it really tells you his quality. He has been consistent figure for the English national team in the last 2-3 seasons. But you know, Essien is in a class of his own.
Yeah.
Ebi ohun say a man time will be through, but I'm saying that he needs more game to prove that. What about against Nottingham Forest Medford? What about against Crystal Palace Medford? Essien showed class against Arsenal, Man United, Barcelona, Real Madrid, AC Milan, top level football. That is why he showed his class. Go and watch the goal that he scored against FC Barcelona. Super. Declan Rice needs time to grow, to be up there. But you know, the reality is that he is not at the level of Alexander Song, let alone to the level of Michael Essien de Bison.
Okay. Jamaica Simbi or the Baminim say, Wahia, or say, Chelsea, as a reinforcement, na areas are okay, you know, or see goalkeeper, Grano, as a reinforcement, new goalkeeper, or as a centre back, centre back, and a few striker, and so on. Only Adriana.
You know, I'm in the yard, centre back, the minute in yard. But me person me clear you ask na question be I think obi the buy and person me clans hand about.
Okay.
No obi say Kai Harvest starting a place in the obo na upon the Arsenal team now. I think about what say they say usi aka Premier League in ma. First of all, if you qualify for the top 4, over the EFL, over the FA Cup, over the Champions League, over the Premier League. It's general matches the dorsal. Once you call pre-season by interior crucial ligament players nenya. Remember the Enebi. Kani Chuku America after 2 excellent games he's off. Nkuku is off. A fatigue, stress. And now Bam was in him and a place ni prepare esa. Especially who's here Juma under certain physical trainers or mere masters or them here Juma. Inti Antonio Pinto said Juma Okoye and a de Militao and a Kotwa Kotinefino. And the coach say a to the beer or give space to other players, Momu Bobby ma certain players arrest. Into only Arsenal say enka by default. Omuti no Ben White, Ramdao Ponim, Zinchenko, Gabriel Saliba as the back 5. But Sawasha in the first 2 games, Ben White and Saliba Nebo, Gabriel at the bench last minute now bomb, Zinchenko, Tomiyasu starting ra. And at Zinchenko by last minute. Clearly, that Zinchenko a pra into a field and all recover. Now, the coach wants to create certain competition. He wants to give certain rest to certain players. Inti no na ama Arsenal defense na akwa yes the back five very usual back five na unim ne unhu clear o come to the midfield the moment Arsenal bet 60 million pounds akoso omede kwa akofa Kai Havertz no de no a ekire se de ekire ne se na cheso omo hu bibi e wo Kai Havertz mu a de no omo pesa abrantie no oba besi akan ye nyina ka se wo hwe Arsenal team na what they needed wasn't the abrantie friend Kai Havertz, but the coach said he wants him. So she first game against Nottingham Forest at a point obi any so de Leandro Trossard buy ka Trossard grab lead line o ma Trossard mom ball behind Kai Havertz. The chile say Mikel Arteta na ye can asem the way I will see who Kai Havertz is clearly different from how we fans, pundits, supporters see the abrantie friend Kai Havertz in there. I agree. Kai Havertz had no business to play 90 minutes yesterday. I agree. Arsenal should have looked beyond what Kai Havertz brings to the table. But the coach says he wants him. He wants creative spark in his midfield. So it is Odegaard, Declan Rice, and then Abrantia, your friend Kai Havertz. Bia, any offer, anyone can. But you know the coach says he wants him. May I agree? Kai Havertz, Rano has said the way the coaches see Kai Havertz, it looks as if we have a different eye. But what can we say? Coach is not penal. Sometimes also a substitute in the class. Still, he feels he needs to play. And let's see. Out of the 2 games played, Arsenal was 6. Man City was 6. Brighton was 6 points. It's early days yet. But teams here on the ball, top 6 in Genoa. Out of the 6, 3 was 6 points. And Brighton, after losing Moise Caicedo, about 4 goals against Luton Town, 4 goals against Wolverhampton. Look at Manchester City, look at Arsenal. Until we take it off, teams should be ready for these 3 teams. Who say Obia free Brighton team?
Yeah.
Who say Levico well ni ho?
8 goals.
Yes. Who say Levico well ni ho? Omo the Van Henk Ababishim. Estupinan is there. Omo the James Mann akoshe right back. And omo failure chiri ho. And midfield omo the Chelsea akra na bebo weekend way. Billy Gilmore. And oni Momo Dawood. Pascal Gross is available. Solimatch is there. Omo the Julio El Ciso and the man himself. Karim Mentoma on the left. Into Genoa, these 3 teams are taking off and let's see they will offer. Now to Chelsea. Jimmy Carragher said Chelsea omu here competition now omu pese already Romelu Lukaku both. Genoa no number 1. Enzo Fernandez is Chelsea supporters will be Anthony Boase. Bibi na masamba Jimmy Carragher there so. Carragher said Chelsea here goalkeeper and they agree. Look at Bergomi and the second goalkeeper. He's 20 years.
Yeah.
Okolo Peter Bob and now Chelsea under 23 no wonder. Only experience at the very top. No kure woman say na big teams no second goalkeepers ni goalkeepers are omoni din. Inti dan say na Manchester City ma ehun Otega. Na nkachire ban for pen of sen komra mishim fa momo. The better days of Peter Cech. Onya head bat na ehun say da bi. Kado Kuluchini e wo ho. Wuli Caballero e wo ho. Na Chelsea kura obi ani momo second goalkeeper. Thomas Kuszczek for Man United and Van der Sar no obi anim no inti mostly first goalkeepers na here na ni wo mo bebrebe and the goalkeepers na ka Robert Sanchez nko for the 2 games untimi nka say wo hwie onhwie he's a Spanish national team goalkeeper in general me agree say at least
Antonio Go no ya there.
Antonio Go men so general me blame on kakra
Untimi tibon no and untimi
he's not at that level.
Wow.
So on general goalkeepers in your class your Courtois, Manu Neuer, Alisson Becker, omo class no. Then you come to Onana, Donnarumma, omo class no. Edison Morales, Jan Sommer, Weze Seshini. You come to their class, you know. And so no about grade A for no. For me, probably Sanchez will be around the C class. A whole A or Bewo. Unai Simon Craft for me will be ahead of this goalkeeper. And you know, many we are drinking kakra. If anyone raise concern about Antonio Go now, many we are drinking because, but you know, you need the Courtois, the Alisson, the Manu Neuer type to save those balls. But what can we say? For me, it will be believable. Many problem, baby. I will not argue.
Yeah.
I agree, but I don't think any goalkeeper now, Jimmy Carragher can first class goalkeeper. No. Oh, here will be a man competition. Obi only who betting me at them. That is the angle he's looking at it from.
Okay.
Now defense, you know, mean to himself say Chelsea Ekofu centre back. No. On the left side, they have Chilwell. On the right side, they have James. Malo goes to the ball against West Ham. He wasn't bad. Kokoera is still there and all bench. So over central defense, I don't know. Chaluba actually. Fofana Ebra. For me, that wasn't a big deal. If you decide to go in for a fallback, the challenge say Chelsea Bebo, Azel Del Chelsea and Thiago Silva. Again, you have Levi Colwill on the bench. So you have 3 centre backs on the bench. When you be out there, because under Thomas Tuchel, Yehu Chaluba say no Timmy Bobo ni pa. He was just off in the game against Real Madrid. Abra was Rodrigo Girls, a team guya and on my back view. Ninta was chasing man on my person sign. So for defense, I don't think there was an issue in defense at all. I agree. The game against West Ham United, Levi Colwill, Azel Del Chelsea, errors at least you expect them to do better. But these are youngsters. It will take time for them to grow. So for me, central defense, no problem. Now you know Saka attack. Attack there. Say that is Lukaku Buofuno. Lukaku is on state in there. He's training alone Ewukoba. Born Omobi. But clearly the 2 games Chelsea have played, beyond Chelsea strikers no one is better than Lukaku. But the position of the club is simple. They don't want him to stay. They want him out.
Yeah.
Say
Chelsea.
They're not saying the decision of the club. So I'm going to he has no option.
Fine, but you baby or
fine, but clubs are not available now. And also he's not happy. He's training alone. He's not playing matches.
Okay.
Because Saudi deal na Chelsea pay. Omo na ready to offer the amount that Chelsea pay. Italian clubs omo ni dama. Hwejuve omo akwa ma supporters na room. So omo Vlahovic ma. Enti Vlahovic deal want it. Asaba say Roma funya na omo pay. But Roma has Belotti now. Tammy Abraham will come back. Omo team now is full of midfielders. Omo spending in the market omo say Enis Kakesevia. So clearly he's not coming to the game again. Now Tottenham was spending so about omo to hear Romelu Lukaku. He wants Chelsea to settle all those issues. No, he has a chance to call. Chelsea is a striker. Into Jimmy Gary Neville or Jimmy Carragher can. You know, I agree. Semi Amaka has said, you cannot build a team without a number 9. And a big team, BOES via general. You need 2 things. 1, you need a game changer. 2, you need a goal scorer. People can say, oh, the better days of Chelsea, no money surplus me. Frank Lampard will not give you what Andres Iniesta, Andre Pirlo, Zinedine Zidane, Ronaldinho, Neymar, Vinicius Junior, the Odebemao. But Lampard has his own way of creating certain spark. A idea of changing game with a goal. And to go and watch the Chelsea against Barcelona at the new camp, but no be himself coconut. Lampard picked the ball, or ball na ball that team. Lampard will change the game for you. Drogba will change the game for you. So far, Damien Duff, Joe Cole, Ian Robin, these were game changers. And the Omubi change the game the amount. For me, within the Chelsea setup, Nkuku is cast in that particular mood to change game for Chelsea. He's not available. You know, go now, can you Chukwuemeka a game changing moment. Any chance?
He's almost got 6 weeks.
Yes. Chukwuemeka go no mom sanfa go ni maybe. Obo say a game changing moment, any chance. From nowhere, pick the ball, take 1-2 players on, create something out of nothing. And on the ball.
Knee surgery.
Yes, 6 weeks. And on Kako Tenetri. It's any papa who puts over changing game in the Ama Chelsea. You know, born in. Create something out of nothing. We any chance. How many players in the beat me on my way? Any chance. So I get here or pick a ball 1-2 and 1 straight away.
All right.
Or improvise, he is good to go. And Chelsea supporters in Jackson say, I don't know why all of a sudden Chelsea supporters in there Philly boy do too much.
Nicholas Jackson. That time I know big judge and say, go, mommy. Over the bar, why is over the pass.
You know,
pass the Pope Park as soon as I pass it to me.
You know, pick Jackson.
1v1.
Yes. No, you pick Jackson. Chelsea, who your supporter, who team, no. Compare it to your competitors. And then Jackson best started. He won't start anywhere. England teams, no, you can dig down. Go to Aston Villa. He's not better than Oli Watkins. He's not better than Calvert-Lewin. You can dig down and go down. Strikers no money na which almost return. So Chelsea will need the number 9. Omo hi obi obegyina ho ama mu ye den the ball na to atena. Game na mo against West Ham no nyina de short crowd omo bi ankopo. It's na me say the game Newcastle against Man City no. Game na a draw. But look at the goal Julian Alvarez scored. He's a good player. If you decide to play him from his favorite role on the left, super. Okay. But Chelsea will need an identical number 9. Monkofa Jonathan Davis. You know, and I'm on Fanamla. Or no, dear, no, who or Bessa Bubiase. Jackson is a good player, but Chelsea need a striker.
And the Unjin this essence say free season Kaya Vez na bona ama Chelsea. Tina omun shede huni ewe ni monum. At least omonya someone who has given them presence. Even though Jackson is yet to score in terms of league, I shall say. But we have movement, any idea or dear mom so. There be any sir. Your free season at Kaya Vez now bonai. Almost said who be bia.
Kaya was able to give them 8-9 goals a season. So at the end, I agree. In the presence.
Yes.
Omo hu say I say obi dina. Na wa enye obi dina ho. Obi dina de senka Lukaku betima ye no.
Kemi am go dina. Move sa.
Lukaku betima sa personality and individual na wo show o physique ne de. And I wo je ball na dada ho de. Nkomo de akwa no kra be ba. Cali voice no doy. And even if you play Raheem Sterling as a false nine, Sterling can also do that work for you. But Chelsea need to score. So share second half now. Tell my Chelsea take a game to West Ham no. They know here the ball better. And a striker you don't shoot. Our say passing on the ball.
Ebi dum say early this year. About 2 games.
No, you know.
I say yeah, man I hu do. I say you drum fin baby and now you baby 2 games.
You know. They are no more early days.
No assessment of the players no one to suka crap.
You know.
2 days.
Team bia on a standard do. Early days yet no. Why are people talking about Man United? Because I'm not taking it down and clearly they are not showing any promise. Chelsea, Ekofa, Higuain, Morata, they couldn't sell at Chelsea. That is the standard. Higuain and Morata. So Falcao, the El Tigre himself, couldn't flourish at Chelsea. That is the standard. Nicolas Anelka Didio Droba. That is the standard. And the Chelsea on a standard. Yeah, early days here to dia. And they can't have it to be Quebec early days here to almost Colombian this year. Tammy Abraham, this is a team. Tammy Abraham scored 12 goals a season. He was the top scorer. He was fired. He was shipped to a certain team. Chelsea won a standard. Talk about Luton Town. Any Bournemouth. That game in Nisro. But the point you are making is that Chelsea competing with Arsenal. They are competing with Liverpool. They are competing with Manchester United. They are competing with Manchester City. Manchester City were Erling Haaland and Argentine number 9 on the bench. Liverpool were Darwin Núñez. A Uruguay number 9 on the bench. That is the standard. And Jackson Obianka so nyade. Me Jackson, even in Villarreal, he wasn't the number 9. He was a deputy to Yeremy Pino on the left. So if it is on the left, no problem. But as a number 9, Chelsea is a big club and they will need that identical number 9 to compete with the top teams.
I don't understand why Andy KERM always doesn't put Ederson in the class of Alisson Becker. I think they are at par. Jackson isn't even better than Tammy Abraham when he was at Chelsea. As in Wenger, I also know the Abuasi in the way about.
Alisson is ahead of Edison Morales, no matter how you put it. I agree. In the Premier League, he has a lot of laurels ahead of Alisson. But you know, the 2 goalkeepers in me no jina ho. Na se for yeka phobia attributes. Any the other game mubra. Alisson is a better goalkeeper than Edison Morales. Me young fan say me cry them impom me no ase. Tite no ma ejuma. In the Brazilian national team, why no choose one ahead of the other? It is Alisson. And Alisson has exploit from Roma International to Liverpool, you know. He's bring that stability into Ederson is another goalkeeper. Very good. In the Champions League, we can talk about the philosophy of Pep Guardiola. We can talk about the total football. We can talk about the tiki-taka. But in the final, it was Edison Morales. The game against Bayern Munich at the Allianz Arena, it was Edison. But in all, Alisson is ahead of Edison, in my opinion.
I agree with Andy 100%. Why do they play so basically as if they are being begged to play for the nation? I'm still wondering, after watching the game yesterday, patriotism for Ghana is not there. Hello, Kwaku Guildford, UK. The way Abreye. Obviously, Abraham said 15 goals and not 12 goals.
I was only talking about league goals.
League goals.
League Nanameka. Maybe or the other competition in account.
Okay.
Me league Nanameka.
League goals,
yes.
or say 12?
Yes.
Not 15?
No.
Oh, okay.
But what I know.
All right.
So are the other competition account, they are fine.
Fabrizio Romano. Also out to Butro. Oh, the Ultra. Yeah. Mimpel style. Abba. Impel style.
I don't believe that, man.
I say Impel style. Seriously. Impel style.
Yeah,
Impel style. All right. Inti yentu aso. Oba urada clubs mu kakra and so on. Obi compare Tammy Abraham and Jackson.
Tammy ahead of
Tammy Abraham ahead of
Jackson.
Oh, sir.
Oh, ahead of him.
Wow. I see. You be urada clubs mu kakra na fi the African News Network.
Okay. Man, you supporters and man more Ghana we work for power. Meeting Greenwood situation, and clearly, come walk out to the message by I say, oh, who is all money leader be out team into my shepherd Abranti Feno and missing Greenwood out. Clearly, so we see a Gary Neville, so I also the Bia Barbashim. I say United need an authoritative leader, a strong authoritative leader at the top. Obi or better keep bold decisions and making sure that the guy will stay. You know, at the very day, I mean, who say the first game against Wolverhampton, a man decided some more protest at the Mason Greenwood, none who said Mason Greenwood in Siaka and Mama United. A bill. They will not accept that. Initially, they were thinking about sponsors. It go beyond sponsors. The enemy are failure. It bedrew fans. It bedrew the lioness. It bedrew the female. And the man is all playing. And clearly, I don't know if they can give us the banner. Banner be brave almost show here in the first game against Wolves. Same Mason Greenwood there, they beat. Playing Emmanuel Siaka Man United. It was clear. And people can blame John Matoff. We can blame Richard Arnold. But the reality is that, you know, Abrochil Kuna Emmanuel there. The door so. Into the moment, best sorry at Tiaono. A young Ned so beat me at John. I'm up for share Mason Greenwood technical quality as a player. A very good player. So we say the United is struggling here clearly. United like a player ni biwom. Anthony ni Ganacho no mo dey omo confidence ni na show mu. So mo bet me create something out of nothing for them. Player or the ball on show be no the ball usa no. But those two players have failed. And United fans need believe say when you have Greenwood, he's capable of taking on players. He's capable of causing havoc to the opposition defense, a thorn in the flesh, and he's a goal scorer. Into betting me options up front. And they are missing that piece within their setup. Into no na mo be a kasa missing Greenwood do Embra. Clearly, a talented player who did say or more chance to live up to expectation. Na asemu ya ba beto na United for antimi anso ni mu a. Everything ha no for Sabranten in stay. But within the boardroom and the directors of Man United, they think say also Sabranten ko. Too bad, but Steven Gerrard and Claire Ban say Gerrard is so bad, you know. Every team ni was Saudi na never team akoye. He's a good player, and I think so with time, obetimi asan back biu na ne ball na no obom ye hwa na ye je ne ho no. Mason Greenwood so etimi asan ma biu. You know, Man U hwa. Bayern Munich Man U ne Liverpool aso ate say Abrante efe no Gravenberch ne ball no 22 million pounds. Two teams in a midfielders. Amrabat Diana Kwakoda, Liverpool a central midfielder. And almost the Wataru Endua, but not enough for them. And almost a another midfielder and Gravenberch clearly Bayern for the two just say it is 22 Abrante na Genoa or that TV suite 22 million pounds into says can available obetimi ede akofa Abrante yaba Chris Alton at a Mason Mount, you know. Yeah. Why any passer or Daily Mail? Why any passer? Or say what to say? Adam Kwa light ya turn, you know. You know. Clearly, the first two games for Man United, ball a Man U boy any day, you know, very poor, and especially their midfield. Into Matias Casemiro so, or Matias Mason Mount so, or Matias Bruno Fernandes so, or Matias Casemiro age in the corner. Brilliant last season, but this season he's lacking it. I almost see Messi Mount. Can you add any? Why it's sad uncle? Oh, who baby ah? And you know, Messi Mount ne carry and coffin. Also back. When the iconic number 7 jersey comes in with a lot of pressure, Sikana Edia Barberton comes in with a lot of pressure. But a proven player, when you are given the opportunity elsewhere, you need to prove something. But the first 2 games, officially for Man United in the general, and yet a dear, obey dear Casa Branchi, Nemo de Bossoni. I've heard people saying that Nano game no near bad, or Moshe, until I was a branch of Mason Mason Mount. They know yet the match Chelsea, and Mao be any bad chain hono, and no Man United that can find the 7 years national. So he need to do that, prove certain people wrong. Say he's a quality player and another platform no beating a Bruno Fernandes almost seen is almost nearly that. The reality is that who game in the so and the first 2 games in Koyim Famano, you know, it happens in football. These are players that have shown up in big games. These are players that have been consistent for their respective clubs. And then man Nkoye, but as I said, Man U team no you na na female be amode ball fam. Adwuma no eye players no any coach no, and in their next game there's so much pressure on them for them to deliver. Home there, I no many problem, but they do away games. A honey baby, everything hard, none ranting. I almost struggle. So let's see the Man United players, you know, and coaching the in their subsequent games.
Ike Gundogan. Best
player for Germany. No, you know, he deserve it. Over Germany for now. Pick their team. Ruben Gosens, Janet Doom. Osher, Serge Gnabry, no. Thomas Muller, no. Tony Cruz, Janet Doom. Not a good season for the midfield maestro. The player I'll be back closer, German Musiala. On a ball pass as a German. When they came to the World Cup, disaster. Clearly, Joshua can make rely on him for a very long time, on and off. Big stages, no ira. But Ike Gundogan, he won treble, very consistent for the side, Manchester City, and go and watch the game against Real Madrid. Super. Go and watch the game against Manchester United in the FA Cup final. Super. And was a treble. Until Germany national team na Genoa. Obia ni wa branty ball or born last season, or but even close to compete with Ike Gundogan. Until o deserve so more diamano. But there was a task ahead.
Yeah.
The standard is Barcelona, and Genoa acquired an normal good pass. But the reality is that on 20 me imposed within the Barcelona midfield. 2 games. But let's see what he brings to the table. Quality player, and I think he deserves it.
Chelsea should have been chasing Mitrovic, rather, who suits a proper Chelsea number 9. But I don't know why Chelsea didn't consider him. Kofi Sheffield, UK. What do you say? Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't with ground Ghana.
Okay.
Mitrovic. Oh, no, where the strikers are around, and if you want to stay in the Premier League, height, physique, fit the Chelsea plan, goals. When's the last now we can strikers and now make us say. So what Chelsea? Chelsea strikers or multi Chelsea players are more than. So look at Jimmy Flo Hasselbank. Look at Didier Drogba. Look at Diego Costa. I've given you 3. And these players, physically, they are very, very strong.
Okay.
And when you say type of strikers now, they fit into the profile and the style of the Chelsea team. It's Alvaro Morata, flexible. Gonzalo Pipita Higuain, flexible.
Yeah.
Kai Havertz, flexible. Tammy Abraham, flexible. The only flexible ultimate boy here is Nicolas Anelka. Onuka one consistent. And it's all Mitrovic. For physique, you go for him. For area duels, you go for him. For goals, you go for him. For power, you go for him. And only a branch and coordinate. But in attack, you need that level of experience. And for me, Mitrovic then can you call so Mujano man ko Saudi. This kind of club fem. It is better say we obema short-term deal. Top 4, you are short. So we bobo ne manoa. Or everything. Or boss robo fem. And for me, it should have been a sure bet for Chelsea. But what can you say? Pochettino feels the young glass can deliver.
To the young fans here. Na yaba sign at us with messages be brave and so I did be brave a man for